Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Robey Theatre Company's Zoom-recorded reading of the Robey commissioned play, A Heated Discussion, written and adapted by Levy Lee Simon, based on the creative idea conceived by Ben Guillory. Please know that what you are about to experience is an ongoing, continuing 2-year process of study, conversations, analytical research, Zoom workshops, and in-house readings, writing, and an ongoing imagination based on the what if concept. The process continues now with once again you, our constituency, witnessing and participating in the work. Please be aware that there are graphic images, gunshots, coupled with violence taken from news photos, news recordings that are disturbing. We are very fortunate to have a very talented and committed group of actors and creative team consent to work and present this draft of the play. Their input has been invaluable.
Hannes Meserly shot 22-year-old Oscar Grant in the back.
Get out of the car now, or I'm going to remove you.
And I'm calling my
I'm going to yank you out of here.
Video, she pulls her sight on and it's trigger instead.
Your hands where they are, please.
Yes, I will, sir. I'll keep my hands where they are.
If you want to just chill, let this go, and no charges filed, we'll take the handcuffs off, we'll get you a bottle of water to drink on, and sit here until you feel comfortable driving. What are you, a specialist, corporal? What are you? I'm a lieutenant. Look.
Here's a fruit for the crows to pluck. For the rain to gather, for the wind to suck, for the sun to rot, for the leaves to drop.
Swing down, cherry, stop it, let me ride, rock it, Lord,
Strange.
I got a home on the other side. Why don't you swing down, sweet cherry, stop it, let me ride. Swing down, cherry, stop it, let me ride, rock me, Lord, calm and easy.
Within 90
A Heated Discussion, what would they say? Written by Levy Lee Simon. Creative idea, Ben Guillory. Act 1. An enchanted forest. Trees, brush, and a bush of various colors, not reminiscent of earth. The wood in colors of blue and green, the leaves purple or yellow, etc. A truly enchanted setting, imbued with lights in multiple colors. The universal solar systems. The characters sit on tree limbs, stumps, rocks. There may even be a rock or a piece of wood that serves as a table for wines, cheeses, fruit. There's an open clearing downstairs center.
Yemaya, how much longer are we going to put up with this?
Put up with what?
Is she ever going to stop? She's been crying and
For
sobbing.
centuries.
I know, but lately it's been worse.
Because things are worse.
Are they really?
You see what we see? They continue to kill our people. Our children are dying.
Dying. They're being murdered. They have been killing us for centuries. I am angry and I am tired too.
Then stop you complaining.
What are we going to do?
I don't know.
About her crying and sobbing.
Let her cry. She doesn't need your criticism.
Crying. What good does it do?
Maybe you should be more empathetic.
I am. Who are you to tell me I am not?
Then act like it and stop overreacting, Oya. We have enough problems to deal with. Leave Yamaya to be Yamaya. She is more powerful than you are giving her credit.
I know how to solve the problems.
Oya pulls out her sword and begins to swing it.
That is the first thing you want to do, but it is not the answer.
So you say, you know what I can do with this.
Oshun pulls out her mirror and looks at herself approvingly.
I am talking about fighting for our people, and you take the time to look at yourself in the mirror? Even now, in the middle of a crisis, you cannot get over yourself.
There is power in beauty. You would know about that.
What? What did you say to me?
Focus.
I am more beautiful than you.
Oya tries to snatch Oshun's mirror. Oshun pulls it away.
Give me that.
Yamaya, you need to eat. Even a goddess must eat.
If she's going to cry every time another Black person on earth is murdered, everywhere on earth we're being slaughtered like lambs at the market.
You see? You upset her.
Oh, they have no right! No right! What gives information? No one does. Again and again and over again.
Mama, it's okay. Sit.
No, it's not okay. And I don't want to sit. Don't tell me it's going to be okay.
I know it has been going on for too long, but Mother, we cannot just sit by and
Why?
Your crying is not going to stop it.
I want the people to feel my pain. Maybe my pain will motivate them to change.
Those white people who are causing the pain don't feel anything. They go about their lives without a care in the world. They don't care about your feelings.
Oya is right, Mother.
We were making so much progress until that beast with no soul, that demon spurned from the underworld who turned his back on all Black, brown, and yellow people came into power. How could they have voted for him?
A Beelzebub. What kind of man cages mothers and tears the children away? Only a Beelzebub.
The racists have always been there. He just gave them the courage to come out from under their rocks.
I have cried too many tears over all of these years, and here I am crying again. Oh, did you see? Did you see how they shot poor Jacob Blake in the back? 7 times! 7 times!
So this was clearly a dramatically exhaustive investigation. Decision now that I announce today before you that no Kenosha law enforcement officer in this case will be charged with any criminal offense. I'm going to also tell you, just because I think it is important, that no charge will be filed against Jacob Blake in regards to this incident as well.
7 times!
I looked into their eyes and souls of those policemen, and do you know what I saw? Demons with badges and guns and hearts of stone.
8 minutes and 46 seconds. 8 minutes and 46 seconds. And we watched his soul leave his body. Did you see it? Oh, 8 minutes and 46 seconds. I will never allow them to forget. Never. No. I will call their names and demand that they pay for their cruelty. Shout! Now is not the time to stay quiet. Scream, shout, stop shouting. Why is it everyone screaming and shouting?
People are screaming and shouting. You can take solace that people are protesting and marching like never before.
Peacefully protesting, huh? No, they need to rise up and fight with weapons.
Our people have been through a lot and we have always survived.
Survived? Is that all there is to human life survival? If Obatala would allow me, I'd infuse all African people with the spirits of revolutionaries and warriors. You will see changes. If the enemy has a reason to fear for their own lives, they will change. Give them something to be fearful of. Let them be afraid in their homes at night. Let them be afraid to get in their cars and drive. They have no legitimate fear of us. Kill them as they kill us and it will stop. I know it will. We need to call on Shango and Ogun.
Oh no, leave Shango and Ogun. The two of you especially should not evoke Shango's name. Oya, Oshun, you know me. There is already too much violence. Not until there is no other option. This is what the creators have demanded.
What don't you see? There is no option.
Oh. Where are you going? Don't walk away from me.
Yeah, Maya, I know what you are going to say. But the only answer is to be strong. The only thing people respect is strength. We cannot be weak. I have been saying this to you for millenniums.
Lower your voice.
Why? No one else is here. All the atrocities they have committed and you still are waiting for them to change? Remember, they are the children of Columbus, that murderous madman who killed millions of the Tano and Arawak's native people in the most horrible way imaginable. That is what they will do if left alone. That is who they are.
I know. You think I don't know?
But most people don't. Because it has been hidden from the world deliberately.
But if we do it your way, there will be nothing but death, blood, destruction. I am looking and searching for a peaceful solution. I just don't know what it is yet.
We are descendants of great warriors. Don't diminish us. Never diminish us.
Diminish us? I am trying to embellish us, nourish us into greatness.
We are already great. We are a great people. Zinga, Queen Candice, Queen Nandi, Queen Menon, Queen of the original Amazon warriors. They have their way.
Obatala has said no. You cannot question the wise ones because they are wise for a reason.
Oh yeah, well I am tired of tears. Tears get us nowhere.
Don't think of my tears as weakness. Oh yeah? My crying is my prayer, and in prayer, there is power.
Pray to who? Huh? We are goddesses. People pray to us.
Goddesses must pray too. Maybe you should try it.
From the darkness of the wooded area, Lorraine Hansberry, Nina Simone, Maya Angelou, and James Baldwin appear.
Where are we?
I don't know this place.
What are we doing here? Yamaya?
Maya hugs Yamaya.
Yamaya. Where are we?
Oh, you are in the realms of angels. One of them anyway. There are many realms.
I haven't seen you since.
Oh, since you first arrived? It's so good to see you. Yeah, I have read all your poems and books, you know. I know every word, every line.
Thank you. I felt a vibrational frequency, and then the next thing I knew, I was here. Did you summon us here?
I felt it too.
So did I.
I summoned you.
If you are going to summon anyone, at least you could have summoned warriors.
Tell me they are not warriors.
From the wooded area,
Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. appear.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum
Walaikum
assalam.
salam.
Hello.
Welcome, Martin.
Welcome, Martin, and
welcome, Malcolm.
I was looking down on earth at the happenings down there when I received a very strong vibrational pull. And all of a sudden I was here.
Bob Marley, Richard Pryor, and Tupac enter slowly taking into space.
You know, same with me. I was just chilling out with Biggie at Thug Mansion, and the next thing I know,
Welcome. I sent out an energy vibration and you all answered it. We need your assistance.
Where the fuck we at?
Richard.
Oh, hi, Maya. Where the heck we at?
Dr. Francis Cress Welsing and Ida B. Wells enter.
Hello? Please, help yourself to food and wine. We have celestial delights for the palate and for the mind. Everything is here for your needs, and if it's not here, I will make sure it is provided for you.
I have all I need right here.
Yeah, me too.
Ah, ganja. It grows freely here. It's not all green though. Feel free. Be careful. It's very powerful. I summoned all because you all dedicated and sacrificed your lives for the betterment and advancement of all humanity. You fought and died for it. We often wonder, what would you have accomplished if you had all lived a full life on Earth? Over the past few years, in human calculation that is, the attacks on Black people have increased and the problem between the races has gotten worse. I am sure you have been watching. We want to know your thoughts on why that is and what we can do to change the problem.
Who are you again?
We are ORISHAS of the Yoruba religion and tradition, originating in West and Central Africa, where most Black people are from. We are the second largest religion on the planet.
Not second, the largest. But the white world will never allow that to be known.
We lend our power, wisdom, and advice to humans when we can, or anytime African souls call for us, consciously or unconsciously. For sometimes people don't know they are calling.
And when the Supreme Creator sees fit for us to intervene, we intervene then and only then.
Excuse me, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing here. I'm a relatively new arrival, I have to say. I am very pleased to meet you all in person.
Oya, goddess of thunder and lightning, married to Shango.
She is not married to Shango. I am.
Shango threw you out a long time ago.
So you say. So you think you know.
Oh, please don't get him started on Shango. Let Shango stay wherever Shango is. Shango.
I have no problem accepting you for who you say you are. But let me be clear. There is only one God, and that God is Allah.
Yes, and the God I know and worship is Jehovah.
We would never challenge your faith. Oh no, that is not why I called. I called for what you might describe as a divine purpose that your gods would condone. A continuation of the work you did on earth.
We are ORISHAS, but you can think of us as angels if that will make you feel better. And we have the power of angels.
You know, I was finally getting used to hanging out over in purgatory.
Richard, you were hardly in purgatory.
Felt like it, boring as hell over there. How much milk and honey can one person drink and eat? I'm not complaining though. Better than hell, I tell you that. That's why I thought I was going to go.
You make me laugh. And I know Obatala is laughing too. He would never wish any harm on you.
Okay, if you say so. Is that wine in that pitcher over there?
Richard walks over and pours a glass of wine. He is followed by Tupac.
And there is no hell. That is not our reality, nor is it yours.
Zora Neale Hurston appears.
I wanted to tell you.
Hello. Have no fear, Zora is here.
I knew you would come.
Of course I would come. You know I never miss a good party, but please tell me you have food and wine. I need a glass of wine right now.
Richard pours Zora a glass of wine.
What's that bitch doing here?
Lorraine, be nice.
I heard that. Oh, Lorraine, I haven't seen you since we were on Earth.
Since you screwed over Langston and Ellen.
Lorraine.
Yes, I know. I screwed over everybody to hear you tell it, but you don't know the entire story because you weren't there. I don't think you should be up here in the afterlife spreading rumors. It's beneath you, pun intended.
Ugh, no one can be lower than you.
Lorraine.
All right. The two of you need to leave all those old hurts alone. Besides, we have been called here for a divine purpose, and I would like to know what that is.
Zora moves around the space, hugging and kissing all.
It's good to see you and feel you again. You have adapted to the afterlife well.
I've been here a long time now. But I always knew when life seized that I would be a part and parcel of the universe. Here I am, right where I belong. Until I'm called back, which hasn't happened so far. I wonder why that is.
The way you screwed up the last time, maybe you are not wanted back.
Lorraine, none of us have been called back.
Damn, I didn't know you two had a beef.
Richard, pay her no mind. Clearly, she has not learned anything. She will have to deal with that karma whenever she goes back to Earth. So, are we ready to party or what?
Party? Is that what this is, a party?
Just wait a second.
Lorraine.
Party. After all these years, I still feel there is no reason for Black people to be partying and shaking their tuchuses.
I second that.
What I want to know is why Black lives are still not valued. Why do Black people continue to take 2 steps forward and 1 step back?
Like 2 steps forward and 3 steps back.
What should the people have learned from the past that we didn't get?
Well, the problem as I see it, as it always has been, is racism, plain and simple. There's no mystery to that. One cannot speak about America without speaking about racism. It permeates every area of a Black person's life from the time he or she is born, even to this day. And I have been off the planet since 1987. But like the rest of us, I've been watching. There have been changes, but quite honestly, not nearly enough as we
I don't know. We made strides during our time. Some of those strides were monumental, if I may say so myself, and led to the election of our first Black president. But I must admit, I'm disturbed by the developments on Earth over the past few years. Very disturbed.
You made strides, all right. I don't question that. I do question your methods. You cannot ask a man to lose his manhood in order to gain what is his by right anyway. His freedom, his humanity. You don't ask for your freedom, you take it. That is the message that needs to be sent to our people today.
I heard that.
I see we will continue to disagree even in the afterlife, Malcolm. But I will never change my mind about the power of nonviolent resistance. I am very encouraged in witnessing all the people who came out onto the streets for nonviolent protest after the execution of George Floyd. Very encouraged.
Yeah, but when they start calling all the protesters looters, we can see most of the looters was white. And then they try to make it seem like Black Lives Matter was setting fires, burning down stores, some bullshit.
Yeah, what I don't understand is why people be tripping over the word riot. In riots, people fuck shit up, burn shit up, destroy it, loot, rob, steal. That's what a riot is. I mean, the Boston Tea Party wasn't a party, it was a riot. It's okay when white people do it, it's a party. All that patriotic shit. As soon as we do it, it's stupid. There is never any excuse for violence. Fuck that.
Tupac, rioting is ugly and it makes us look bad.
Look bad? You cannot talk about life and death matters and be worried about how we look.
But when we riot and act like fools, they use that against us.
Now forget all that. Look, here's the solution. Burn the shit down when they get us pissed. Besides, those stores aren't even owned by us anyway. In the Los Angeles riots, that property was mostly Koreans. They deserved that shit after they beat Rodney King like he was an animal. But more than that, it was for Natasha Harlan and that judge that gave that Korean bitch probation for shooting a 15-year-old girl in the back of the head. And they want us to be nice about it? Fuck that. Because of the riots, the next step is revolution.
Oh, I love it.
Shut up and listen.
The mass media and all the major news agencies endlessly use that word looter. So the American public concludes that these Black savages are trying to steal everything from them. But they're accusing a captive population who has been robbed of everything of looting. I think it's obscene, Maya.
I'm with Tupac. If you don't want people to riot and destroy property, stop doing the things that are going to make people go out and riot. Just stop killing Black bodies and there won't be any rioting. Why is that so hard to understand?
Exactly. We've been telling them to get their foot off our necks for 400 years. Why, there's going to come a time when Black people are going to use everything in their power to get their foot off our necks. And they don't get to tell us how. We will get your foot off our necks by any means necessary. They have the nerve to talk about not being violent. Protest peacefully, my foot.
Did you see how they allowed that white boy to stroll down the street carrying an AR-15 like he was John Wayne or somebody?
Don't forget they gave John Wayne a bottle of water.
Oh, yes. Don't forget the water. Makes me sick to my stomach.
Well, and now, ladies and gentlemen, he's a white supremacist hero.
Being the elder here, I can say Black people have come a long way, but the journey is far from over. There are still too many white people that hate us simply because of the color of our skin.
You are right, Ida. Every kind of atrocity that could have been done to a people has been committed on Black people in America. And it continues to this day. What year is it down there?
2021.
2021.
Yeah, 2021. And they have been abusing us since they came to Africa over 400 years ago.
White people are conflicted because they can't figure out, after all they have done, why we don't hate them and try to kill them at every opportunity. See, that's what they don't understand. Think about it for a moment. But don't think too long, because you won't understand it either. If we had done to them what they did to us, why, they'd be coming after Black people with everything they have. They can't understand the generosity of forgiveness that exists in our people. Hell, I don't understand. That's why they come after us. It's guilt, white guilt, for the sins against Black people, and they live in fear of retaliation for their own crimes to this day.
I was born Black and female. And the problem with that, as I see it, have not changed dramatically enough for the Black woman and for the Black man, for that matter. Since 1619, Negroes have tried every method of communication, from petition to vote, everything. There isn't anything that hasn't been exhausted. But I have to tell you, Black people have been patient, but the patience is unbearable even to this day. It's hard to watch from where I sit, yet the problems of this society must still be challenged. They have to be challenged in 2021, people. It's painful.
Oh, Ashe. Hell yeah, it's painful. Since I've been on this side, I have not felt physical pain, but the emotional pain and psychological pain is just as bad and hurts just as much. Maybe even more, because I feel everything times 10.
Black people suffering from post-slavery syndrome and post-traumatic stress. This helps relieve the stress.
Pass that joint, Bob.
I believe that Black people must concern themselves with every single means of struggle. Legal, illegal, passive, active, violent, and nonviolent. They must harass, debate, sit in, lie down, strike, boycott, sing hymns, pray on steps, and shoot from their windows when the racists come cruising through our community.
Yes, Lorraine. Yes, I love the sound of that.
This is the perspective from which we were speaking from then and should be speaking from now. It isn't as if we wake up and say, what can we do to irritate white America today? That in and of itself is ridiculous. We are not monolithic, but we cannot buy into the idea of separatism either.
We are surely not monolithic. That's the truth.
No, because I am nothing like you.
Nor me, you, sister.
I'm not your sister.
Well, that's true. All skin folk and kinfolk. You want to go there because we can go there.
No one is going anywhere.
She's mad at me because
you plagiarized the works of Allen Locke and Langston. They worked diligently with you on Barracoon and Mulebone, and they trusted you, but you took all the credit.
Where in the world did you get that from?
Langston told me he was very hurt by you.
I am not going to stand here and defend those allegations. I didn't defend them on Earth, and I'm damn sure not going to defend them now. I will not give you that satisfaction.
You won't defend them because you know it's true.
You don't know what you're talking about, so you need to mind your business.
Langston was my friend, so it is my business.
And what can you do about it, Lorraine, huh? What can you do? What difference does it make now?
I just want you to know, and everybody to know, afterlife or not, you don't get a pass.
Wasn't asking for one, wasn't expecting one, don't need one. So what now? Because I am ready for whatever you got.
Zora!
Let me pull Lorraine away. You may y'all pull Zora away.
Let me go, Jimmy. I'm fine.
She's gonna bring up some bullshit that didn't have nothing to do with her. I didn't even know her back then. I had already published books, plays, and articles when she was just a little intern working for Paul Robeson at the Amsterdam News. Only met her on a couple of occasions and still didn't know her name.
Jimmy, let me go. A lot of people got fooled by my size and glasses. You don't want to be one of them.
So bitter. Bitterness is the coward's revenge for having been hurt. Poor baby. Let her go. Please let her go.
Enough, Zora. You need to back up and sit down. Lorraine is my girl. You do not want me to get into this because you know I'll put a spell on you.
Enough! Enough!
No, let him go. I love a good fight.
I didn't summon you here to rehash personal matters. Please, let's attempt as best we can to focus on what's important to all of us.
Yes, our purpose is much larger than any personal matters you may have.
As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted.
You interrupted me.
The Black intelligentsia, the wealthy, the middle class, and the poor are all one people. And we must approach the problems and solve the problems as one. We can ask the masses to understand, but the question is, do the masses even want to understand?
Hell no. How are they going to understand when they constantly killing us? They can't understand because they will never walk in our shoes.
A revolution. That is what Lorraine is calling for.
I'm not calling for one, but I'm surely not taking it off the table as an option.
We cannot keep dying like dogs and do nothing about it.
Ashe!
I was born into slavery. I have gone into the valley of the shadow of death and have been confronted by some of the vilest, evilest white people you ever want to meet. And it wasn't a dream. It was a living nightmare.
Sound to me like the same one that's wearing their badges all over the country right now.
Might as well be. They're sons and grandsons of those same good old boys. They just turn in their hoods and ropes for the badge and the gun. There is no difference between the racists in 1864, 1964, and 2021. I know because I was there.
How do you change the hearts of men if they don't want to change?
But you can't change a man's heart. Some people born evil.
When people get set in their ways, and child, good luck.
White people don't want to change. And the white man that doesn't want to change is a dangerous man. They have been scandalous from the time they set foot on this land. Look at the indigenous people that lived on the land before the Europeans came and renamed it America. No, it's the white man. He's the problem and has always been the problem.
Malcolm, your hatred of white people is not the answer. When are you going to learn that hatred is too great a burden to bear?
I don't hate anyone. You sound like the white media that accuse me and label me as someone who hates people just because I love my own people. One thing I am not going to do and never did is love people that hate me. How are you going to do that? Give me a break.
Love is the only force that can transform an enemy into a friend. No other power can do that.
A friend? A friend? When are you going to get it into that thick head of yours that no matter how much love you have for someone, that doesn't mean that they're going to love you? A friend? Always sucking up to them like some lapdog, begging for their approval. A friend.
Malcolm.
What? I'm just tired of hearing it.
Well, I guess we suffer from the same problems, Malcolm. Eternal hard-headedness. But my head is not as thick as yours. You cannot condemn all white people. Let's take a look at this logically and historically. It was the white abolitionists that fought and held up the cause for Black people at the most crucial time in American history. John Brown, Susan B. Anthony, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Harriet Beecher Stowe, and many, many more.
Didn't Harriet Beecher Stowe write Uncle Tom's Cabin? If she's not a racist, I don't know what a racist is.
Many of the white people who were part of the suffrage movement did not hold the same ideals for Black people, and especially for Black men. I knew them all personally and can vouch for some, but not for others. I vouch for Harriet, though. She was a true abolitionist.
They introduced the world to Frederick Douglass. If it wasn't for him, Black soldiers would never have fought in the Civil War along the side of white soldiers who put their lives on the line for the freedom of Black people. We seem to conveniently forget about that.
I'm tired of hearing about the goodness of the white man. If the white man was so good, Black people wouldn't be in the situation that they are in today. If the white man was so good, he wouldn't have kept his foot on George Floyd's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds.
Malcolm's still angry after all this time.
Why is it that every time a Black man speaks the truth, he's got to be labeled as angry? I'm just speaking the truth.
I did not mean to insult you or label you, Malcolm. I love you too much for that. But I want to get past the anger. We have to.
I recognize that I was wrong about all white people on the global spectrum, but not about the average white American. The ones that serve a white God with a white Jesus on the cross, that manipulates religion to their own evil cause for their own purpose. The evangelicals, the religious right, the Trumpsters in their red caps talking about make America great again. America was never great for Black people. They are the ones at those rallies with a global pandemic raging, not wearing masks and all up under each other like flies carrying their filthy diseases all over the country. They are good at transmitting diseases. They've been transmitting diseases since they came over here from Europe. Smallpox, syphilis, gonorrhea, AIDS, corona. How can you believe in God and follow the devil unless you are a devil yourself?
Damn! I hear you, Malcolm. That's real talk.
Pretty rough talk.
I like the way he talks.
Malcolm, we cannot be controlled by our emotions. That's what a child does. When I was a child, I spoke as a child, understood as a child, thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
Now he's going to come at me with the white man's fire.
You can say what you want about the Bible, but we must continue to see the cross as a magnificent symbol of love conquering hate and light overcoming darkness. Let us never forget that the Lord and Master was nailed to the cross because of human blindness. Those who crucified him knew not what they did.
So they knew exactly what they were doing.
I agree with Martin. People can change, but it takes courage to change.
Crackers don't want to change. I ain't never seen a cracker change.
In order to change the situation, one has first to see it for what it is, the paradox. And a fearful paradox it is that Black people can have no future anywhere, as long as he is unwilling to accept his past. To accept one's past, one's history, is not the same thing as drowning in it, but learning how to use it.
I agree wholeheartedly, Jimmy.
I don't know. I see the purpose of the Bible, the Quran, and even Black history. But the young people today, I look at those kids today and nobody is getting bogged down with all this heavy stuff. It looks like so much fun compared to what we had. You know, I think I was born in the wrong period.
You in today's world, watch out.
Yes, Zora, you would excel in any time. There's no doubting that. But I don't want to lose focus here, and I don't want to talk about the Bible. We have thousands of Black men and women slain by the police going back far too long. It's a one-sided war because they have the law and the firepower. Let me tell you a story about our past.
Oh, Lord.
You have a better story?
Oh, you go on, Malcolm. Nobody can stop you from speaking. Y'all serious. I need to shut my mouth.
Thank you. Here's some history for you. Back in 1964, James Powell, a 15-year-old Black boy, was shot and killed by Lieutenant Thomas Gilligan of the NYPD. He was unarmed. 6 days of rioting followed his murder. They called it the Harlem Riots. That policeman was never arrested or prosecuted. Now you tell me, what has changed?
I don't know about you, but it's a different world now.
Is it really, Zora?
I managed to live a full life and love myself despite America telling me that I wasn't worth loving. But I'm proud for enduring white man's America of the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. Lord knows it wasn't not easy. Honestly, I don't know how I did it, but I surely don't want to revisit all that pain again. Oh, no.
Everything revolves around consistency. None of it mean nothing without consistency. No consistency, no success, no changes, me say.
And Bob's got a point. Just like I couldn't stay consistently sober. You can't be marching one day and ignoring everything the next. I needed to stay consistently sober. That's why I got burnt the fuck up.
I really want to see what's going to happen to the police arrested in the George Floyd case. They never arrest a white man for committing a crime against a black man. Used to be a written rule. Now it's an unwritten rule, but it's still a rule.
It's the system. You have police who commit crimes and a DA or AG who is not going to go against the policeman committing the crime. So very few ever go to court. And the few that do go get a judge who is on their side. Look at the Breonna Taylor case.
It's horrible, horrible.
Yeah, but when you go to court looking for justice, that's just what you'll find. Justice.
The police department was set up to maintain Black communities and keep us down. Allow me to quote one of our colleagues who is not here tonight from The Soul of Black Folk, the great W.E.B. Du Bois. The laws are made by men who have little interest in him. They are created by men who have absolutely no motive for treating the Black people with courtesy or consideration. And finally, the accused lawbreaker is tried not by his peers, but too often by men who would rather punish 10 innocent Negroes than let one guilty one escape.
Amen. Du Bois wrote that in 1903, 118 years ago. I remember when he wrote it.
Oh, that's right. You knew Dr. Du Bois in life.
Oh, yes, honey. We had our moments too, but I was a little too radical for his taste. But Marcus Garvey agreed with me, though.
The United States is the only nation where someone can get a job as a policeman with a high school diploma, 6 months training, and no background check.
There's a recipe for murder right there. Ridiculous.
It's absurd. Once they put on those blue uniforms, they may as well transform into monsters.
Reconstruction of the police departments of America would be a good place to start. Education and training
and screening. You cannot just allow anybody to become a police officer. The racists have infiltrated the police departments of America. And you got KKK members with badges and guns patrolling the streets and highways of America, looking for an opportunity to engage a Black person so they can carry out their hatred of people of color.
I want to say something here that is very important. Okay, I hear all this talk about what a Black boy is supposed to do when the police stop him. They behave this way and that way, and I say, no way. When you ask me to act a certain way, you're telling me to submit to being inferior. And me inferior to no man.
When they put that gun on your ass, you may not want to be inferior, but you inferior, goddammit.
And fuck that. I'll speak your truth. Comply with them just because they have a badge?
And you know a better way that's not going to get you killed?
And that badge don't mean shit. That's why I shot those cops in the ass in Atlanta. I wasn't going to obey them when they was acting worse than any thug I know, assaulting us and trying to dehumanize us. Even the judge let me off because he knew how crooked their asses was.
You were lucky that time.
Sure was. The only thing every mother is concerned about is that their child comes home in one piece every night alive.
Look, I know that, Miss Angelou, but what you're telling me is that
you comply. Your job in that situation is to do what they tell you.
Bullshit.
They have the gun. You don't.
So, what, I should just say, yes, boss, yeah, and do a dance and a jig and shuffle and grin and everything gonna be all right? Fuck that. Excuse my French, but fuck that. I'm a man. We men. I ain't gonna let them take my manhood just because they have a badge, but fuck that.
Tupac, language.
Tupac is right, you know.
Back in my time, all they had to do was hand somebody a badge and say, you are now deputized. That's all. That's it. And once they have the authority, with or without a badge, they go about their business. And God forbid you were their business. I have seen the eyes of white people, and I know their hearts can be colder than ice. I never seen a Black person with that kind of coldness in their eyes and heart. Forgive me. I'm referring to something specific in my own mind right now. It don't ever seems to go away. That's what concerns me about the families of the victims of racial brutality, because I know the pain never goes away. Mary Turner. You all have heard of her. I'm quite sure you have. But I was there. I've seen many incidents of lynchings in my time, all more horrible than the next, but still a few stand out. Mary Turner. They lynched her in Lowndes County, Georgia, for protesting the lynching of her husband, Hayes Turner, who was lynched for no reason, and they had no proof of the charges. When she protested her husband's lynching, they chased her down, captured her 8 months pregnant, and took her to the bank of the little river by the Folsom Bridge. There, they tied her upside down from the bridge by her feet, then doused her with gasoline and set her on fire, burning her alive with the baby inside. Her screams could be heard for miles. Afterwards, they sliced open her belly and her baby fell out and still alive until some white man stomped the life out of the child. That's what they think of Black lives. If that wasn't enough, they then shot her over and over while the crowd of 700 people watched and took pictures. White men and women smiling and laughing. That's what they think about Black lives. To most white people, Black lives don't matter. I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish I could break all the chains holding me. I wish I could say all the things that I should say. Say I'm loud, say I'm clear for the whole round world to hear. I wish I could share all the love that's in my heart. Remove all the bars that keep us apart. I wish you could know what it means to be me. Then you'd see and agree that every man should be free. I wish I could give all I'm longing to give. I wish I could live like I'm longing to live. Oh, I wish I could do all the things that I can do.
Black lives matter. They have always mattered.
When I hear a story like the one you just told, I cannot help but to think about all those white people that stood around smiling and laughing and posing for the camera. Who are they?
Yes, who are they? Standing around hung, mutilated, and burned Black bodies. I question every white person that says it wasn't me. I wasn't there. It may not have been you, but how do I know it wasn't your grandfather or great-grandfather, grandmother or great-grandmother for that matter? Holding that flask, grinning and laughing while a Black person swings from the tree in the background. God, take some responsibility.
It's not sick to my stomach.
Exactly. Take responsibility. You don't have to look back. Look at today. That is why I don't for 1 minute believe there is a such thing as a good policeman. If so, where are they? Why don't we ever see them or hear them? Until the police, white, black, Hispanic, start to step up and condemn all the killings of black people, I will maintain that there is no such thing as a good policeman.
The police weren't invented to serve and protect black people. Their job is to knock black people upside the head and lock black people up. And when we resist, they take out their guns and shoot us to death, burn us to death, like they did Mary and like they did Will Brown in my birth town of Omaha, Nebraska in 1919. They burned and shot that innocent man in the worst manner. Why you wouldn't slaughter a lamb the way they slaughtered Will Brown? He never had a chance.
Not only Omaha, Chicago, St. Louis, Memphis, Houston, the Red Summer of 1919, Black Wall Street in Tulsa, 1921. I can go on and on.
No, let me tell you about what the police did to Tupac Shakur in real life. All because I was an outspoken young black man. The Oakland Police Department, OPD, they stopped me for jaywalking. I swear, I didn't even know what jaywalking was. They asked me for my ID and asked me my name. I told them, Tupac Shakur. Then they asked me why my mother gave me a name like that. That's my name, and that's how I said it. Just because my name wasn't John Doe, it irked them because I wasn't just another N-I-double-G-A to them. So then they start questioning my name, the name my mother gave me. That was beyond Call of Duty. That shit made me hot. Now, I'm really a nigga with an attitude. So they put their hands on me, threw me in the gutter, and put their knees on my face. They gave me scars on my face for the rest of my life. From that point on, I hated the police. I could have been a George Floyd.
What about all the thousands of George Floyds that were never reported?
In Jamaica, all of them police, them black, and they still give everybody a hard way to go. Them corrupt, dishonest, and evil. Black people killing black people. It's that badge on their chest that give them the power. People go crazy over power. That's what it's all about, power, you know.
Can I say something? I like to say something. I feel the need to announce myself with all you famous motherfuckers.
Richard.
Peoples. I was gonna say peoples.
Go ahead, Richard.
Thank you, Maya. Shit. Police, soon as they get sworn in, be like, I can't wait to kill a nigga. Cops be put a hurt on your ass too. They really degrade you. White folks don't believe that shit. Oh, those people were resisting arrest. I'm tired of harassment of police officers. Police live in white neighborhoods. They be knowing them by Officer Timpson. Hello, Officer Timpson. Going bowling tonight? Yes, nice pinto you have. Ha, ha, ha. Niggas don't know them like that. I am reaching into my pockets to get my license because I don't want to be another motherfucking accident.
That was indeed hilarious. Usually, it's never a laughing matter when it comes to the police and Black people, but leave it to you, Richard.
My, thank you.
We are so used to turning on our TV and hearing over and over again that another Black child was shot down by the police because they thought he had a gun. In most of those cases, the Black child did not have a gun, not a real gun. But the truth of the matter is that the Black child inevitably did indeed have a gun. I'm going to show you a picture of a white erect genitalia. Now I'm going to show you a picture of a Black erect genitalia. I'm going to turn them horizontal. Now, which one looks like a gun? I'm not trying to be vulgar or pornographic. I'm simply making a point. But it's not the size of the phallus that is the problem, but the sperm that comes in the phallus. The bullets, if you will, those bullets filled with melanin that give Black people their color and creates the dominant gene that threatens the very existence of white people on the planet. So yes, every Black man is walking around with a weapon, and the white survival is threatened by the black man's weapon to the point that certain white people will go to any lengths to see that the weapon is never used again. And that is why the first thing they do before they hang or burn is to cut off the black man's penis or shoot because he is armed with a weapon.
Wait a second. Wait a second. I have something to say at the risk of being too personal, but who am I fooling? I have no problem with being personal, mind you. I have to say that the thought or belief that all black men are somehow larger than all white men or any other man for that matter is simply not true. I know from personal experience that there are black men who are pathetically small and white men who are extremely large as any black man. To believe that or buy into that plays into the narrative of the black man as animalistic or bestial. We all know that is not true. So why are you feeding into the myth?
You call it a myth? I never experienced a white man in that way personally, never had the desire or need to, but
I have. And so have I, quiet as it's kept.
Well, good for you. From my studies, the black penis is the largest of all humans.
And where have you done this study? In a laboratory in cadavers?
No, I have done it for 40
with a white man. I don't see how you would know. And where does your pathology come from?
Truth or myth? It is terrifying to most white men because it diminishes them and excites their women.
Is that right?
Oh, do you hear her? Oh.
Certain white men would rather a black man stick his penis in his mouth rather than in his daughter.
All right, Dr. Welsing. I like that. Oh, that is more than what I want to see in my mind. But she's got a point. Too many black men were hung on trees and castrated because of the white man's fear of his woman being with a black man. Those are facts. Fear of the black penis is very real.
My first husband was a piece of work. Whew! I had to leave the continent to get away from his black ass. There's something soulful about a black man that no other man on the planet can duplicate. And it has nothing to do with size.
When it comes to love, race doesn't enter into the picture as far as I'm concerned. Being with a white man does have its share of difficulties. I broke up with my white husband because there were certain things that he just didn't understand, and I didn't have the patience to wait for him to figure it out. So there is something to that, I guess. But sexually, I fail to see the difference.
I'm so glad you all shared about your endeavors with white men. I'm very glad and very disappointed. We are and have been dying and failing at unacceptable numbers. What are we going to do about it? When black men meet on the street or on the corner in the barbershop or at the bar, they say, "What's happening?" Think about that. What's happening? No one really knows, but I tell you what is happening. We are at war.
Ashe, yes, Dr. Welsing, yes, ashe.
If we keep misidentifying what is happening, we will be destroyed. I want you to understand why. Black people were the first people on the planet.
Oh, this is true. Olamare created the earth and the first people were black.
White people lost their color through a genetic mutation to albinism and left Africa because they could not take the sun.
She is telling the truth.
We were the first physicians, first philosophers, architects, engineers, mathematicians, artists. But something happened to those great civilizations.
We know what happened. Europeans happened.
That's right. Europeans came over to Africa and saw all those tall black and bronze men standing there with those beautiful full-bodied black women, and it made them feel inadequate. And from that point on, the business of white people was to reverse everything. They did everything in their power to make black, red, yellow, and brown people feel that they were ugly and white was beautiful.
Ashe.
And they succeeded in doing that very well. You heard the saying, if you're white, you're right. If you're yellow, you're mellow. If you're brown, stick around. But if you're black, step back.
I always thought it was the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
That is why they came to Egypt and chopped their noses off all the statues and all the monuments.
Black people shared in ruling Egypt for thousands of years. You want proof? Look at the Sphinx. Please continue, Dr. Welsing, please.
I will. Look, I'm not saying that it's the business of black, brown, yellow, and red people to hate white people. I'm not saying that at all.
Then what are you saying?
I just want you to understand why they want to dominate the world, why they attack black men with the highest potential. Jesus was a black man killed by white Romans. Hitler was an anti-Semite. Why? Because Jews are not pure white. It only seems to reason that Jews, Hebrews, have black blood flowing through their veins. If we don't understand white supremacy, then we will be confused about who is using us and why. And the episodes of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor will not only continue, they will be repeated over and over again.
I believe we know what the problems are, but what about solutions? How do we solve the problems?
That is the $64,000 question, isn't it? What is the solution to the problem of racism? Can anybody answer that?
If I had the answer, everybody would truly know my name.
Dr. Du Bois said, the problem of the 20th century is the color line. And here we all are well into the afterlife and well into the 21st century and asking the same question.
The hard situation that we are in, people, it hasn't changed. In fact, it's worse. Listen, when a black man cannot find work to pay the bills and cannot play out the role of a father, he goes out and gets involved in activities that will get him arrested or killed. Collapse of the black family dynamic.
That's the truth. I live that shit.
You have black children being raised by stressed out, angry, and hateful mothers who blame their no good black fathers for the condition they are in. Misplaced anger, I should add. Then that child, that black boy, must figure out on his own how to survive. Well, the liquor store is right at the corner. The gangs are at the other corner. The dope man is at yet another corner. Heroin, cocaine, crack, meth, everything designed to destroy the black brain computer, which is the most beautiful computer on the planet.
Damn! You speaking truth, Dr. Welsing. Though my mother was not angry and hateful, she never spoke an angry word about my so-called father. She loved her children unconditionally. But I know about the gangs, the dope man, and liquor stores far too well.
What I'm going to say next, I know is going to be controversial.
Oh,
we have an epidemic of bisexuality and homosexuality in the black community created by white supremacy.
Excuse me.
Because when men long for men, there is no need to worry about white genetic survival.
Hello, excuse me. I need to interrupt you.
I figured you would.
I was with you up until your last point.
You want me to break it down further? Because I'd be glad to do that.
Did you just say that homosexuality is caused by white supremacy?
Hardly. And it's a problem that makes black men passive and weak.
Well, everybody knows I'm a homosexual, but there's nothing passive or weak about me.
No disrespect, but not everyone can be James Baldwin. You were an anomaly.
Anomaly, you are right. Not everyone can be James Baldwin, and why would they want to be me? I think any black boy, or girl for that matter, can be anything they want to be, regardless of his sexuality. Your assumption is not based on anything factual.
Oh, I have facts and proof.
Where? Show me. Where are they? Prove it then. Prove it.
Is white supremacy the reason for black lesbianism too?
Homosexuality is homosexuality, male or female. All of it lends to the destruction of the black family dynamic.
I have suspected for a long time that the black homosexual in America would ultimately pay a price just for being a homosexual. But I never thought I'd hear this coming from an intellectually sound and learned woman such as yourself. No wonder there are so many homophobic black people in the black community. You, Dr. Welsing, are responsible. You are dangerous.
So I've heard, but I am only speaking the truth, Lorraine. May I continue?
No.
I am well aware that the white man's masculinity depends on a denial of the masculinity of the blacks.
But you have taken it too far.
That's
Lisa,
who?
you can't stand there and just say anything you want to say because you want to say it. Your comments sound like you don't have any basis in truth. And I'm not going to allow you just to continue to poison this gathering with your slanderous comments.
Allow me. Did you say allow me? No one could stop me from speaking the truth on earth. What makes you think I would allow you or anyone to stop me from speaking now?
You can't just say anything and think I'm going to accept it willy-nilly. You sound like an imbecile.
Oh, did you call me an imbecile?
No, I think he said you sound like one.
If I sound like one.
Okay, that's enough. Okay, that's enough. All of you, you need to calm down.
No. Let them go, please.
Damn, I am loving this.
This is some good shit, ain't it?
Yeah, man.
Do you honestly believe that all the LGBTQs, many of them brilliant, mind you, even more so than I was, are the result of white supremacy? Is that what you are saying?
It's obvious to me.
Oh, well, let me tell you something. Gay lives matter. Transgender lives matter, and queer lives matter. Just in case you haven't heard, Black lives matter.
Okay, fine. With a lack of heterosexual males in homes, male children will experience male hunger. The child learns to cover up his feelings and not talk about what hurts. So when someone comes along and says, suck my penis, and he's experiencing subconscious male hunger, he sucks on a penis.
You're going too far, Dr. Welsing.
Oh, there she goes with the penises again.
Isn't that what homosexuals do? Suck on penises?
You need to yourself. I may be gay, but I'm not a faggot. And this gay man is not going to take too many more of your insults.
Or what? You standing there like you want to do something.
No, I would never do anything to you physically, that is. You're still a woman as far as I can see.
Better watch it. I heard Jimmy carries a knife.
And he knows how to use it too.
That's why I left the US and moved to Paris, because I knew I was going to have to cut somebody if I stayed. But I didn't carry it for Black people, and especially Black women. But I can and will cut a woman with my words.
I'm pretty good at words too, so good luck.
She doesn't know when to stop.
Let her keep it up. She'll learn.
Okay. White feelings of inadequacy is what led Europeans to have sex with Black boys who are also feeling inadequate. It was a perfect marriage. No pun intended.
I don't know about anybody else, but this is quite an education. Is it an education for anybody else too, or am I the only one?
Yeah, I'm sure it's an education for me, and I thought I heard everything.
Understand what we are dealing with here. Their ultimate goal is to see us either as submissive or destroyed. Why do you think they developed AIDS? It's chemical and biological warfare. They want you to believe AIDS came from a green monkey in Africa, but the truth of the matter is AIDS was developed in a laboratory in Germany. They thought, how can we get rid of millions of Black people all at once? So they created a virus targeted at Black men and women by the tens of millions. The white supremacy mindset says, let's kill them off, while they sat on beaches and tanning salons for hours at the risk of dying from cancer so they could look like us.
Let me get this right. You are saying that this entire AIDS pandemic was to kill off Black boys so they wouldn't impregnate white women?
Exactly. More heterosexual Black males have died from AIDS across the globe than gay men, white or Black. Gay men in general are more expendable, but Africa has been decimated by their man-made virus attacking Black heterosexual males and females. They want to keep our reproductive numbers down.
Maya, I agree with Dr. Welsing, at least about the germ warfare. Hey, that's exactly what happened to me, you know. They used a stick pin to my foot that caused me to have brain cancer. I mean, think about that for a moment. Have you ever heard of anything like that happening to anyone or anywhere else since? Germ warfare is what they use, what they do. You cannot put nothing past them. They are capable of anything, you know.
I believe it. I was the only one killed with no white people directly involved.
They had something to do with your murder too, Tupac. Trust me. What me got to say, I want you to listen. My music, playing all over the world, touching all kinds of people, them, because I sing about unity, peace, love, And they don't want that. They don't want people listening, coming together in harmony, white, Black, African, Spanish, Asian people coming together in love. They want us at each other's throat. Capitalism can't even exist with all the unity, peace, and love, you know?
I feel you, Bob. That's real talk.
Dr. Welsing, I want to know, here's a question. What are your thoughts on the corona pandemic?
You mean the mandemic? Because that's what it is, a mandemic targeted at people of color. Why do you think that president didn't want to do anything about it? As long as it was killing more people of color, why try to stop it? You've seen him. It's obvious he turned his back on the problem.
At least they are close to having a vaccine now.
Isn't that convenient and even more upsetting? They have discovered a vaccine for coronavirus in less than a year, yet they haven't found a vaccine for AIDS in over 40 years. Why? Because once COVID-19 escaped the labs in China, they began affecting more white people than they planned for. Italy, UK, Germany, the USA, they didn't plan for all those white people to be dying.
White people died from AIDS too. I can fill up a graveyard filled with my white friends that died from AIDS.
I am not concerned about how many white people died
I think I have heard enough.
From AIDS or
I said I've heard enough. I'm speaking now. Those are extreme circumstances you have brought before us, and from what I can see, only inflame fires of hatred and distrust.
The truth is hard to swallow.
Your truth, not mine. They are conspiracies as far as I'm concerned, and conspiracies are dangerous. I know because I was a recipient of many conspiracies during my time on Earth.
And after, they're still working on you.
And after. I, for one, don't want to partake in listening to non-factual information when we have too many real and relevant issues to discuss.
I do not deal in non-factual information. All of it
You've had your say. And to be honest, I don't see how your say helps our cause.
I think I've just been dismissed.
I believe you have, Dr. Welsing.
Look, we still have many problems confronting our people. We still have the highest unemployment. We still have the worst education. There are still too many Black people living in poverty. And we still have the problem of the police. How do we confront these issues? Rioting and violence will never get us anywhere. Sometimes I could get mad enough to kill a bear, but I know I have never will lift a finger to harm that bear.
Martin, Black people need to hear the truth. The truth that one might have to die for freedom. You know this as well as I do.
Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Hate multiplies hate, violence multiplies violence, and toughness multiplies toughness in a descending spiral of destruction. The chain reaction of evil, hate begetting hate, wars producing wars, must be broken, or we shall be plunged into the dark abyss of annihilation.
Get up, stand up, oh yeah. Stand up for your rights, Lord, Lord. Get up, stand up in the morning. Stand up for your rights. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your life. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your life. Stand up for your life. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Or say, preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth. I know you don't know what life is really worth. It's not all that glitters is gold. After story, never been told. So now you see the light. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. What you got to give? Stand up for your life.
Shall not fear no man but God, though I walk through the valley of death. And shed so many tears. I should die before I wait. Please God, walk me, grab a nigga and take me to heaven. Back in elementary, I thrived on misery. Left me alone, I grew up amongst a dying breed. Inside my mind, couldn't find a place to rest until I got that Doug like tatted on my chest. Tell me, can you feel me? I'm not living in the past, you wanna last. Be the first to blast. Remember Cato, no longer with the seat, the seats. Call on the sirens, seen them murdered in the streets. Now rest in peace. Is there heaven for a G? Remember me, so many homies in the cemetery shed so many tears. I suffered through the years and shed so many tears. Lord, I lost so many peers and shed so many tears. Now that I'm struggling in this business by any means, label me greedy, getting green, but seldom seen. And fuck the world cause I'm cursed. I'm having visions of leaving here in the hearse. God, can you feel me? Take me away from all the pressure and all the pain. Show me some happiness again. I'm going blind. I spend my time in the cell, ain't living well. I know my destiny is hell. When did I fail? My life is in denial, and when I die, baptized in eternal fire, shed so many tears. Lord, I suffered through the years and shed so many tears. Lord, I lost so many peers and shed so many tears. Now I'm lost and I'm weary, so many tears. I'm suicidal, so don't stand in me. My every move is a calculated step to bring me closer to embracing early death. Now there's nothing left. There was no mercy on the streets, I couldn't rest. I'm barely standing, about to go to pieces, screaming peace. And though my soul was deleted, I couldn't see it. I had my mind full of demons trying to break free. They planted seeds and they hatched, sparking the flame inside my brain like a match. Such a dirty game, no memories, just the misery, painting a picture of my enemies killing me in my sleep. Will I survive till the morning to see the sun? Please Lord forgive me for my sins, cause here I come. Lord, I suffered through the years and shed so many tears. God, I lost so many peers, and Lord knows I tried. Been a witness to homicides and drive-bys, taking lives, little kids die. Wonder why as I walk by, broken hearted as I glance at the chalk line, getting high. This ain't the life for me, I wanna change, but ain't no future right for me. I'm stuck in the game, I'm trapped inside a maze. See this Tangeray influence me to getting crazy, disillusioned lately. I've been really wanting babies, so I can see a part of me that wasn't always shady. Don't trust my lady, cause she's a product of this poison. I'm hearing noises, think she's fucking on my boys. Can't take no more, I'm falling to the floor.
Hi, I'm Carrie Tate Hogue, a board member of the Robey Theatre Company. Your financial support is vital to our work, especially during these challenging times. We are committed to our mission of fostering a community of artists and creatives to produce plays about the global Black experience. As a community, we take this mission seriously. We also want to entertain you because you deserve it. Thank you for attending today. And please consider contributing to the Robey Theatre Company today at www.therobeytheatrecompany.org. Click the donate button. And remember, every donation helps, and no amount is too small or too large. See you at the theater.
Robey, go Robey, the Robey Theatre Company. 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 Go Robey, the Robey Theatre Company. Robey, go Robey, the Robey Theatre Company. Robey, go Robey, the Robey Theatre Company. Robey, go Robey, the Robey Theatre Company. Los Angeles is quite the town. Every shade of red, white, tan, black, or brown. You reach so high, but they knock you low. So you're wondering which way to go. Take the path to hone your craft and build a legacy to last in a community of creativity. The Robey Theatre is what you need. Robey, go Robey, the Robey Theatre Company. 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 You love the arts, you wanna be a part. You're looking for a place where you can start with fertile ground to sow your seed into cultural diversity. You see a play that rocks the stage and takes you on a journey going all the way in a community of creativity. The Robey Theatre is what you need. Robey, go Robey, oh, Robey Theatre, go Robey, go Robey, the Robey Theatre Company. Robey, go Robey, come on, come on, come on, theater, come on and go, go Robey, yeah, Robey Theatre Company. Actors and playwrights, you wanna get it right, go Robey, go Robey, the Robey Theatre Company. Oh, go Robey, the Robey Theatre, go Robey, go Robey, the Robey Theatre Company.
Act 2. Some time has passed.
Man, that's bullshit. That's no
You
way
are
gonna come
taking my
together.
words.
Like,
No
oh,
reason
yeah,
why
go back.
you
It's
can't
not
come
gonna
to
there.
this.
That's why you have to that have the language here.
Everybody just stop for a second. Now, we've been talking about everything you can think of, you can imagine, some very heavy stuff, but we have yet to talk about the one thing that can solve all our problems.
I know what Maya's thinking. Love. Is that right, Maya? Love.
Yes, I'm talking about love, my dear Zora.
I agree. Can we talk about love? Ultimately, love is the answer. Nobody here can deny that. We need more love, y'all.
There's all kind of love. What type of love you talking about?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Brotherly love, sisterly love, sexual love, love of life.
Love. Okay, I can go for that. I love Lorraine Hansberry. We've had countless conversations on this subject. Hours and hours. Lorraine.
What?
Go on.
Oh boy.
Go on, share something.
Love. Most of you know I was married to a white man. I was not romantically in love with Bob, but I did love him. I had to first admit to myself that I indeed loved women. And being that it was not in vogue, I had to keep it a secret, because not only was I a lesbian, but I was a Black lesbian. Most of my relationships were with white women, though there were many Black women that I admired. I spent many lonely hours deep in thoughts in my life, deep in thought of love. I liked conversations with James Baldwin, to be alone when I wanted to watch television very late at night, to work, to be in love. I hated my loneliness, my homosexuality, stupidity. I love Jean Genet's plays, Jean-Paul Sartre's writings. Not being able to write, being hungover. Silly women as silly men. I regretted that love is really as elusive as everybody knows it to be. I hated all the freaking hurts in this world. I hated that a certain lady let my letters be read. The shallowness of people that came into my life. I liked 69 when it really worked. The first scotch. The fact that I almost never wanted a third or even a second when I'm alone. I liked the inside of a lovely woman's mouth. The way little JW looked in movies, her coquettishness, her behind, those fresh little muscles. I struggle to work hard against many things. And of my people, Eartha Kitt, I should like to be utterly in love.
Yes, love.
You would make it all about her.
What did you say?
You heard me. You ain't blind.
Look, I damn sure wasn't talking about you.
What happened to the love, you two?
Well, I will admit, love will make you crawl out from your hiding place.
All right, all that. I led a boring life. I was busy writing and pursuing justice for our people. I didn't have time to attend to Ferdinand and our 4 children.
You had time to make those 4 babies, though.
I'm not feeling all this love shit. How can you be thinking about love when they are killing us?
Nobody ever stops thinking about love.
She's right. Since 2015, 1,252 Black people have been killed by the police.
That's a lot of people. I cannot believe they have not arrested those police in the Breonna case.
Breonna case? What case?
It was in the 1960s when Rockefeller passed the no-knock law, the stop and frisk law. Isn't that what happened to Breonna? It's based on an old racist law that was implemented over 60 years ago.
Andy, my ex-husband, would tell me how the police would keep notches on their guns for every Black person they killed, then plant guns and knives on Black people to justify murdering them.
Black people have been free for 155 years. That is not a long time at all. We are still recovering from all the abuse and still dealing with the consequences of racism.
But you better not talk about it because they will say you pulled the race card.
Anytime one of them says that, you know, they's the ones that just said some racist shit.
We've all heard them before. Just get over it. But they remember everything that has ever been done to them. But when it comes to slavery, it's, oh, you still talking about that? Of course, we're still talking about it. We're supposed to be talking about it.
Well, we did have roots. I guess they thought that was enough. But if I was in the Roots, there wouldn't have been no movie. That white man would have hit me with that whip. Say your name, Toby. I would have looked back and said, Kuta Kinte. He would have hit me again. Say your name, Toby. I would have looked back and said, oh, Kuta Kinte. On that third time, he would have hit me. Say your name, Toby. I would have looked back and said, Toby, Babobi, Banana, Thana, Batobi, goddamn it. I got that one from my friend Charlie Barnett. I hope he don't be mad at me. Hey, Charlie.
That's how they get us, by putting fear in our hearts and minds.
Most Black children today don't even know anything about our history. And that, my friends, is dangerous.
Every Black child needs to know their history, and not just Black people, but white, brown, red, and yellow people too. And we need to know theirs. It's imperative to understanding each other.
How many even know about Ida B. Wells?
Of course they don't know about Ida or Maya or me.
Or me.
If they don't know your name, James Baldwin, then they certainly don't know their own. Some famous person I know said that once.
Have you been paying attention? They are trying to challenge critical race theory history in the schools now.
They want to take anything about racism in America out of the school.
Because it might make certain white people feel bad about themselves.
Ain't that some shit?
It's evil. If you have goodness in your heart, you cannot follow evil, you know? Your heart won't allow it. But if you have evil in your heart, it's easy to follow evil. Evil hides in darkness. It needs to be brought out to the light.
Oh, speaking of evil, you know Trump is going to do everything in his power to steal the election. I hope y'all know that.
Of course he is. He is motivated by his racist nature. That's why he's on the side of the white supremacists. It might take a war.
A war? Black people are not ready to fight the most powerful military force on the planet. I'm afraid to say it would be a slaughter.
That is not true. We'll never win if you are afraid. We will win. We cannot lose.
I hope you are right. If any white man in the world says, give me liberty or give me death, the entire white world applauds. When a Black man says exactly the same thing, word for word, he is judged a criminal and treated like one. And everything possible is done to make an example of this bad nigger so there won't be any more like him. And if we declared war...
So what if we lose 10 million? We would still have enough people left to carry on.
I didn't live my life the way I did to see my people die violently in the streets or a race war. We need tranquility and serenity. I have seen the light, and the light is love and peace.
Anyone who feels that war can solve the social problems facing mankind is sleeping. I believe today that there is a need for all people of goodwill to come with a massive act of conscience and say, we ain't gonna study war no more.
How can we stand there and talk as if war between the races is inevitable? I refuse to believe that. Look at us. We know what the afterlife is, and though it is very nice, we should not be encouraging people to get here any faster. You all should know that. Love, people, love. We, unaccustomed to courage, exiles from delight, live coiled in shells of loneliness until love leaves its high holy temple and comes into our sight to liberate us into life. Love arrives, and in its train come ecstasies and old memories of pleasure, ancient histories of pain. Yet if we are bold, love strikes away the chains of fear from our souls. We are weaned from our timidity in the flush of love's light. We dare be brave, and suddenly we see that love costs all we are and will ever be. Yet It is only love which sets us free. Love arrives, and in its train comes ecstasies, old memories of pleasure, ancient histories of pain. Yet if we are bold, love strikes away the chains of fear from our souls.
That was so beautiful, Maya. I was just thinking.
Oh, Lord, everybody run!
Shut up, Richard. We are here talking about our people fighting for their very existence. But then you have Black people that just want to forgive white people for everything. Why is that? When those Christians were killed in the Emmanuel Baptist Church in Charleston, South Carolina, by that white supremacist, what was his name?
I don't even want to say his name.
Dylan Roof. Yes, him, that's him. Killed 9 church members attending Bible study. Bible study! And before they even captured him, the family of the victims were already forgiving that piece of shit. Now somebody please explain that to me.
Nina, yes, yes, and yes. After they caught him, they took him to McDonald's to get a Big Mac. They would have killed me on the spot if I walked into a church filled with white people and just opened fire on women and their children. In a church, the most safe and non-threatening place you could go.
They kill us for all kinds of offenses and for no offenses, from murders to misdemeanors. Men and women are put to death without judge or jury. But we will be the first to say, I forgive you in the name of Jesus. I have seen it over and over again. I don't understand it.
I think it is shameful that monster forgave him before their friends, relatives, and loved ones were even cold and buried. That's an insult to people who died. Damn him.
Did he even ask for forgiveness?
I think you all are missing the point. Forgiveness is not for the person committing the crime. It is for the person giving forgiveness. Who wants to walk around carrying the burden of hatred and resentment with them? It will eat you up. It will kill you. We need not send that message.
Forgiving a racist? You cannot forgive a polar bear for being a polar bear and doing what a polar bear does. Why could they care less about your forgiveness?
I'll never forgive Derek Chauvin for putting his knee on George Floyd's neck. You want to forgive him for that?
Never.
I underwent, during the summer that I became 14, a prolonged religious crisis. I discovered God and his saints and his angels and his blazing hell. And strangely enough, none of you were among the angels that I learned about because all of them were white, even in a Black church with a white Jesus. Anyway, I accepted this deity as the only one. I believed God would save me in times of crisis, but he did not.
Forgiveness for one's sins must be sought for with sincerity and true devotion. If one does not repent, there can be no forgiveness.
Forgiveness is not an occasional act. It is a constant attitude. I believe those dedicated church Christians in the Dillon case were only practicing what they know to be right. Forgiveness is the cornerstone of true righteousness.
How are you going to forgive a non-repentant person? That doesn't make any sense.
The truth of the matter, I fail to believe they want to be forgiven.
The Bible is what gave us strength to get through everything Black people have endured. Every Sunday, in every big city, every country town, every small town, in every suburb, Black people get up, get dressed, and go to church to praise God. Why? Because that is where we get relief, where we can gather hope and joy, repentance, redemption, and forgiveness. We all need forgiveness.
Fine. You can worship their God if you want to, but it was their Catholic Church and their Protestant church founded on blood that have Black people in the position that we are in today. Remember that. They made Black people believe in a God that put them in chains. It is the cruelest of crimes to enslave people and then make them worship the God used to enslave them. That is a horrible trick.
Christianity has operated with an unmitigated arrogance and cruelty. When the white men came to Africa, the white men had the Bible and the African had the land. Now the white man has the land and the African is still attempting to digest or vomit up the Bible.
Jesus consistently taught his disciples that love and forgiveness were absolute necessities for spiritual maturity. Christ, the innocent Son of God, lies in painful agony on an uplifted cross. How will Jesus act? What will he say? The answer to these questions burst forth in majestic splendor. Jesus lifts his head up amid the wreath of thorns and that encircles his brow and cries out in words lifted to cosmic proportions, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do."
We did it, Joe. America's democracy is not guaranteed. It is only a strong.
Biden and Kamala won! Yes!
Why are you celebrating? The problems are not over.
Don't you spoil my good mood.
Sadness, then she cries tears of joy. I don't understand you. Make up your mind.
No, I don't understand you. If I cry, you're upset. If I'm happy, you're upset. Why can't you just be content sometimes?
Stop it, Oya. Enjoy the moment. You are making me angry. You do not want to see me angry.
What do I care? I have seen you angry before. What do I care? You cannot do anything to me. Do you believe for one moment that things will change when 70 million people voted for the demon?
She's got a point.
But 80 million voted for Biden and Harris. Just shows you the power of the vote. What? There is power in voting.
She's right. Stacey worked her ass off. Nobody can deny that. I love that girl.
We are talking about the American political system. On one side, you have the party of Barry Goldwater, George Wallace, Nixon, Reagan, Bush, and Trump, which 70 million people voted for. And on the other side,
you have a president that got a blowjob.
Shut up, Richard.
It's true. You can't compare Brother Bill getting a blowjob to Trump being responsible for thousands of people dying from corona. Y'all don't want to get me mad up in here. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here.
Yeah, up
in here.
One thing I know, the White House will never be the same since Barack and Michelle was living there.
And you know he was getting the blowjobs, my man Barack.
Better spray that White House good once Trump leaves, light some sage in every area.
As I was saying, on the Democratic side, you have the party of the Kennedys, LBJ, Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and now Biden, Kamala. Which side would any common sense person want to be on?
A Black woman is vice president of the United States. Did you ever think we would see the day?
No, I never did, Maya.
This is a glorious moment for Black people, for all people.
You wish I could be as excited as you all are, but she's
But
not.
what?
Her record hasn't been so great when it comes to Black people, you know?
Here we go.
Now speak on it. Talk to me about all those brothers and sisters Kamala put in prison and are still in prison. Some of them were my friends.
Shit, maybe some of them belong in prison.
Oh, Richard, with all due respect, fuck you.
Fuck me? Did you say fuck me? Fuck you.
Lord, my goodness.
We were just joking around, Miss Angelou.
This is no joking matter, Tupac.
Winning the election gives Black people hope. It's a step in the right direction, isn't it?
Look, me don't trust no politician. I don't care what side of the aisle they're on.
And let's not forget that Biden is responsible for putting a lot of Black people in prison too.
Both Biden and Kamala made mistakes, but people are allowed to make mistakes. I believe their hearts are in the right place. We have to give them a chance. It's a democracy, and they were elected and won fair and square.
Democracy means hypocrisy.
My sentiments exact.
Mine too.
I have a very difficult time believing and trusting any Black woman willing to sit behind a desk and send Black people to prison. I have a difficult time with that.
So you want to leave it like it was. You want to leave it to them to lock our people up because they will gladly lock us up and throw away the key.
That's what they do.
What's that guy's name again? The one in San Fran.
Oh, you talking about Willie Brown?
Ah, that's him. Wasn't he 30 years older than her? Sounds like a business decision to me.
Now she with a white boy.
Business
decision.
Ooh, you all sound like a bunch of old church ladies gossiping at the beauty parlor. Get your minds out of the gutter.
Right? Why do Black people do that, acting like a bunch of haters?
I'm not hating, I'm just stating.
Are you having reservations because she is a woman or a Black woman? Or because she's with a white man? She has enough to do without judging up her past. You see all they have to do or have on their plate trying to clean up what Trump left?
And he left a big old mess. She's the best person for the job, point blank, period. And she brings it real and raw. Y'all need to shut up talking about making somebody mad up here.
She is where she is by divine appointment, and she has divine work to do. All of you need to consider that. Divine work.
Well, I hope you don't believe the elections are going to change everything. There are way too many issues. Systemic racism, police murders, judicial system.
All that. And we still have Corona raging out of control.
That's right. We all know Trump is responsible for Corona killing people all over the country.
And it's not all about health issues. People of color are usually the first responders. So if anybody is going to get the disease, it's going to be the first responders.
They need to bring that man up on crimes against humanity.
That's right.
Look, we need to think about solving our own problems. We cannot depend on politicians. We'll never get anywhere depending on politicians.
I strongly disagree. Our movement in the 60s totally and irrevocably changed the political landscape of the entire country. You cannot arbitrarily dismiss that.
Dr. King, the last thing I want to do is take away from any of your many accomplishments, but there is so much more to be considered in today's world. That's why we are here, right? To discuss what's going on since we left the planet.
She is right. That is why you were summoned.
Thank you, Oshun. To start with, we need to teach our boys to stop fornicating all the time and to be aware of loose women and stop dancing and drinking and having a good time all the time. Stop with the random sex. Into Instagram, Twitter, and all that mess only destroys your brain. That's right. I see you are learning. Sex is not an activity for children. We have to stop allowing babies to have babies. No woman should have a child until she is 30 and no man until he is 35.
What? Okay, wait a second. No sex until 35. No. Have you lost your mind?
That might not be the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, but it's right up there. It's way up there.
I had 8 children before I was 20.
That's my point. We cannot afford that type of irresponsibility.
Irresponsibility, you call it. I have 12 children.
12?
Okay, and another 13 altogether. But one thing you should know, I take care of all mine.
But everybody can't be movie stars, rock stars, and athlete. The prize buck, just like during slavery, and young Black boys will think they can do the same thing and haven't even graduated from high school, yet they relish in being players and pimps and dogs. And not your problem, that's a problem. Every time a Black man says, not my problem, you look behind him and there's a problem.
No, not my problem who anybody grind with. It ain't nobody's business who I grind with. I don't believe in one man, one woman, no way. Look, I have my own way, and my way ain't nobody's business but mine. Okay, who are you to judge my life? I don't live to be perfect. But before you start pointing fingers, are your hands clean?
My hands are very clean.
Oh, yeah, right. Everybody's hands dirty. Everybody, you're not special, you know?
How you gonna tell somebody not to have children until they 30? Shit, I started fucking when I was 11. Now, I know that's unusual, and I'm not trying to tell anybody to follow me. Don't follow me, goddammit, shit. I ain't been the best boyfriend, husband, or father. So you telling me what to do? That ain't gonna work. Oh, hell no. Kiss my ass with that shit.
Comedians, musicians, and movie stars.
Don't think of me as a movie star. Was a booty star.
We don't need booty stars. We need to concentrate on developing the brain computer. The Black penis works just fine, obviously.
What is with you and the penises?
She didn't get enough when she was alive.
Oh, I got plenty. We have to have a plan of action. If you have a better plan, I'd like to hear it.
You call that a plan? Clearly, you've got your own agenda, Dr. Welsing, or had, but nobody is going to listen to you because it is simply the most unrealistic suggestion I've ever heard.
I still have a large following, even in the afterlife. Do you?
My legacy speaks for itself.
Raising in the Sun, the most celebrated Black play ever, which I was in at the Apollo Theater, by the way, 1984.
I know, you were excellent.
Oh, you saw me. Oh, shit, my humble beginnings. But back to the subject at hand. I don't know how anybody can mandate sexuality. That's crazy. It's like, look, if I want to have sex with a woman for pleasure and she's agreeing to that, then I was with that, because once you have the urge, that itch gotta be scratched.
Isn't that why you got locked up, playing around with all those girls?
No, I got locked up because that B lied on me.
But weren't you in the hotel with her?
So what? She went to his room. What did she think was going to happen?
Because a woman goes to a hotel room with a man doesn't automatically translate to having sex. The thought of that is repugnant.
I guess I'm repugnant then, because if you was going to my hotel room 2 a.m, that meant that somebody was going to give up some booty. That was understood.
Look what happened to Mike Tyson. Ruined his career. Almost ruined mine.
Tupac, it did ruin yours.
This conversation is getting on my last nerve.
Mine too. Men. Then they wonder why Black women are so hard on them.
Oh, you don't want to take it there.
You got something to say, let's go.
Yeah, we got something to say. We Black men, we always got something to say.
Richard, how many Black women did you date? Pam Grier and who else?
A lot. Deborah, no.
Bullshit.
My ass. I like all colors of the rainbow. All y'all dated white men, that's a lot worse than any Black man that dates a white woman.
You come up with that.
Well, maybe y'all shouldn't be so evil.
I am just so tired of Black women being labeled mean and angry all the time. Black men need to stop that. The world needs to stop it. Just stop it.
Stop.
Black women are already in pain and have suffered enough, but instead of acknowledging and nurturing us, y'all want to fight us. And instead of loving us, when a Black woman calls you out, when you are not doing the right thing, you go running to the other side. Black women are too much. Black women are evil. We will never get anywhere as a people with that attitude.
Well said, Zora. At least we agree on something.
Oh, I see it's gotten real quiet. Even Martin got his mouth shut.
Well, I'm silent because I know when to stay silent.
Opening your mouth right now might get you into trouble.
Yes, not to put your business in the street, but everybody has heard about you and your mess.
At the risk of defending myself, I believe that
want to stay quiet a little bit longer, Martin.
And look, I know I cannot believe anything that J. Edgar Hoover said about you because he's just a liar. Everybody knows that.
J. Edgar Hoover was one of the biggest hypocrites and murderers in American history, coming after Malcolm and Martin, trying to hide the fact that he himself was a faggot. Notice how he used the word, Dr. Welsing.
I noticed. Point taken.
From what I have seen, the only one of these men that is remotely sincere and honest when it comes to relationships is Malcolm.
Yes, that's true. I don't know how the rest of you are role models for young and can't keep it in your pants.
Look, I love my Black women. Got nothing but respect for y'all.
Maybe if we did more fucking, we wouldn't have so many problems. Keep your mind on the PUSSY. My father died fucking. My father was 57 when he died. The woman was 18. My father came and went at the same time.
Richard, what does that have to do with anything?
Nothing. I just felt like saying it.
Know what all the fuss is about? Back in my time, a Black man was expected to marry a Black woman, and that man was the head of the family. Nobody was even thinking about being with a white woman because thinking about it might get you killed. And that white man would, well, you know, they just come and take what they wanted. Most times the Black man would just have to sit there and wait, take a walk in the woods. What did you think that did to that man? That's why so many Black men be running after these white women, because it was taboo for so long and dangerous. Black man get him a white woman and it's like spitting in a white man's face. Here, take that. Now, I'm not saying that's how it is all the time, because love is love, and sometimes people find love anywhere they can get it, anyway or however it comes.
Now that's the gospel truth. I hope you heard her.
Man, y'all getting too deep. Sometimes a brother just wants to get laid. Black, white, Spanish, Asian, don't matter once we horizontal.
No matter where you go.
You see the same hoes. Sorry, I couldn't resist that.
Are the only people on this entire planet who have been taught to sing and praise our demeanor. I'm a bitch, I'm a hoe, I'm a gangster, I'm a thug, I'm a dog. If you can train people to demean and degrade themselves, you can oppress them forever. You can even program them to kill each other and they won't even understand what happened.
Damn. Hit me where it hurts, because that's some real shit. But you saying that it's not going to change nothing? People are still going to drink, get high, and they're still going to fuck. That's what humans do. I still want to know how you're going to change that.
I know it seems impossible, but we have got to try. Our very survival depends on it.
Our survival depends on not having babies. Are you listening to yourself? How that sound?
Totally unrealistic, you know.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I wasn't trying to be with no hoes. I had my standard. Lady, take it easy. Hate to sound sleazy, but tease me. I don't want it. It's that easy.
Oh, have a sense of humor, Francis. Damn.
That's Dr. Welsing to you.
I knew that would mess her up.
I understand what Dr. Welsing is saying. We have to remove the evils, the vices, the alcoholism, drug addiction, casual sex, all vices that are still destroying the moral fiber of our communities. That on us. We cannot expect white people to do it.
But they the ones pumping drugs into the community, not us.
But we are the ones using them.
But don't you get? Ain't no drug factories in the hood. Talk to the CIA and how they pump Compton and Watts full of crack back in the 90s. Then they arrest us and threw us in prison to make money off us for being strung out. They were the ones that ruined families and communities all over the country. It should never have been a crack epidemic if they didn't fund it, supported by the United States government under Ronald Reagan himself. Talk about that. Just say no to that.
The drug epidemic is going on right now, affecting mostly white people, but they get to go to rehab because it's a health issue. But when it's us, we get put in prison because it's a crime.
Speak on it. That's what I'm saying. You just can't blame it all on us.
Oh, shit. Would you look at this shit here?
You see what I have been saying.
They done lost their cotton-picking minds.
Unbelievable.
No, it's believable, all right.
What year is it again? 2021?
My Lord, my God.
Bobby goddamn.
Chickens are still coming home to roost, I see.
Stop the steal. Kiss my black ass.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
They stormed their own capital like that. You think they will give a damn if black people?
I know one thing, they better not come up in the hood with that nonsense.
They would unleash the fury of hell. Look at them.
So what? We can unleash hell too. They got a lot of nerve talking about stop and steal. Fuck them. What about us?
Hypocrites. Their government, their unjust laws have just turned against them.
Can you imagine if that was us attacking the White House?
The steps of the Capitol would be red with black blood. I know that.
And those that didn't get killed would get dragged off to prison that same day.
They like putting black people in prison.
Because that's what America means, prison. But that should show us something. There comes a time when violence is necessary. There comes a time when we better fight. We fought in all their wars. They sent black people to Germany and black people bled. They sent black people to the South Pacific to fight the Japanese and we bled. They sent black people to Vietnam and Iraq and Afghanistan and we bled. But when it comes to standing up for our own rights here in America, we don't have any blood. How are black people going to be nonviolent with all the violence being heard upon us right here in America? Look at them.
Malcolm, I'm concerned when I see white people storming the Capitol. I am. They are challenging justice. They are challenging humanity. I am concerned about brotherhood and truth, but we can never advocate violence for. Through violence, you may murder a murderer, but you can't murder murder. Through violence, you may murder a liar, but you can't establish truth. Through violence, you may murder a hater, but you can't murder hate.
It's hard for anyone intelligent to be nonviolent. Everything in the universe does something when you start playing with its life, except Black people. A man with a rifle or a club can only be stopped by a person who defends himself with a rifle or a club. This is equality. I have never seen a racist that was not willing to be violent. Look at them.
Courage is the inner resolution to go forward despite obstacles. Cowardice is submissive surrender to circumstances. Courage breeds creativity. Cowardice represses fear and is mastered by it. Cowardice asks the question, is it safe? Expediency asks the question, is it politic? Vanity asks the question, is it popular? But conscience asks the question, is it right? We cannot stoop to their level. That is a very low bar, Malcolm.
Fear. It's fear. They feed into the fear, you know? That's why they storm in the capitals. Fear.
They don't need an excuse. They have been conducting militaristic maneuvers in the backwoods of America since I was on the planet.
But they have been ineffective. They are inconsequential when it comes right down to it.
You call that inconsequential?
But here's what gets me. I bet all those people down there will tell you to your face that they believe in Jesus. But there they are with their signs, guns, flags, and gallows.
I think we got two different Bibles, a Black Bible and a white Bible. Because being a Christian for Black people is all about kissing up and getting a good ass kicking. That white Bible tells them they can do whatever they want as long as they get on their knees at night and go to church on Sunday.
Or hunting. Most Black people were raised in the church, and we are told from a very young age to turn the other cheek, as Jesus would have, and to retaliate to violence is sinful.
Not retaliating is sinful.
The great tragedy of life is that too often we allow the means by which we live to outdistance the ends for which we live.
What does that mean?
It means there is a voice crying through the vista of time, calling men to walk in the light. Man's earthly life will be reduced to a tragic cosmic elegy if he fails to heed this call. This is condemnation, says John. The light has come into the world, and men have loved darkness rather than light. You can choose darkness, or you can choose the light.
I don't know about all that. What I do know is this. If they decide to get into their trucks and drive down every major street in every city, most Black people won't be ready. The only Blacks that are armed and ready are the gangbangers, the Crips, and the Bloods will be ready. The Vice Lords and the gangster disciples will be ready. The Latin Kings and the Black Keystone Rangers will be ready. But everyday average Black person is not ready for that. And that is on us. Black people need to be ready.
Lord, isn't that a scary thought that we would have to depend on the gangbangers to save us?
That's better than them killing each other.
I don't know. Black people in the South have guns too, and they can shoot because they go hunting to put food on the table. Hell, I can shoot a gun if I have to.
Glad you're not shooting guns anymore.
Look at them. When white folks come, they bring a mob and they always outnumber you. And they know most times Black people will stand and watch the man or woman be hung or shot rather than come to that person's aid.
You ain't never lied.
Every Afro-American should have a Winchester rifle at a place of honor in their home. I guess today it would be a AK-47 or an AR-15, and it should be used for the protection against anybody that comes through the door uninvited. When the white man knows he runs the risk of biting the dust every time his Afro-American victim does, he will have greater respect for Afro-American life. The more the Afro-American yields and cringes and begs, the more he is insulted, outraged, and murdered.
Amen to that.
Malcolm, you're laughing.
Oh, it feels so good to hear Sister Ida B. Wells tell it like it is. America is so hypocritical and paradoxical that if you don't have some sense of humor, you will crack up. You'll go crazy and they will take you to the insane asylum.
I'm here to tell you.
America will cause you to lose your mind. We need to be armed for our own sanity. Black America needs to get ready for a revolution, but understand what I'm saying. A revolution is bloody. A revolution is hostile. A revolution knows no compromise. Revolutions overturn and destroys anything that gets in its way. You don't do any singing. You're too busy swinging. You don't see any of those white people down there singing. They are swinging. They know what we are afraid to know. The price for freedom may be death. You have got to be willing to die.
Well, I hope it never comes to that, but I agree that we must be willing to die for freedom.
Martin, do you remember what I said to you when we first met?
I've known you for a long time, Nina.
I told you in Selma back in '64 that I am not nonviolent.
Yes, I remember that. That's when you sang that song.
What song?
You know the song you sang, Mississippi.
Go ahead.
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Goddamn.
I thought I'd never see the day I heard Dr. King use a cuss word.
I almost didn't get a chance to deliver my speech the day that after Nina sang that song.
I wanted to use my voice as a weapon to speak out for my people. The only way I could get all my rage out was through my art. I was sick of the social order. I wanted to shake people up. I wanted to drive them insane. Thank God I was a singer. Otherwise, I would have had a rifle in my hands because I am a revolutionary.
Amen.
Martin is a revolutionary too. Now, he was a different kind of revolutionary, but he's every bit a revolutionary as Malcolm.
All of you are revolutionaries. Everything I've seen you are. It's in everything you do. Your art, your activism.
Thank you. But today's artists are not using their artistic power.
They're using it for money, fame, and selfishness.
You bring up an interesting point. The Black artists must realize that they have a responsibility that is very important. We have artists who are geniuses. Look at all of you. But as long as the Black artist has to sing and dance and act to please the white man, he'll be a clown. But when he can sing and dance to please Black people, he sings a different song and he dances a different step. He and she becomes a beacon of light for all of us.
I agree, but it's better today than it was when I was living.
It's still bad for Black artists. Have you seen what's happening on Broadway? The BIPOC movement. It's a good thing, but why is it even necessary?
We need to establish cultural centers of our own for film, creative writing, painting, theater, music, the entire spectrum. A cultural revolution that will be the journey to our rediscovery of ourselves.
It is for this reason that all societies have battled with the incorrigible disturber of the peace, the artist.
Yes, I myself was bodacious enough to have called myself an artist. Write about our people. Tell our stories.
My mission in life was not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. Now, we should be angry, but not bitter. But like Lorraine said, never stop talking it. I not only have the right to stand up for myself, but I have the responsibility.
Maybe if we took all of our talents, all of our art, all our spirituality, our spunk, our funk, our attitude, all our swagger, all our style, all our fashion, and just left all the racists to themselves. Notice I said racist. We should invite white people with us, the progressive ones, because it's not all white people that are against us. Just leave the racists behind. Let them attend basketball and football games with no Black players on any of their teams. Let them play their country music, their rock and roll, their satanic heavy metal, and have no R&B, no jazz, no blues, no hip hop to show them how to live, love, and feel.
Oh shit, that's dope. That is dope. Yo, I like that shit. They would be in bad shape.
I like that, Zora. The war of an artist with his society is a lover's war. And he does at his best what lovers do, which is to reveal the beloved to himself and to the world, with that revelation to make freedom real.
A day of absence like Douglas Turner Ward's play.
Exactly. What would they do today?
What do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna come looking for our asses.
We are never going to get rid of the racists. They need us because without us, they can never feel that feeling of superiority, and they need that, like a junkie needs dope.
You got that right.
I was raised in an all-Black town called Eatonville. I know what it's like to be around nothing but Black people. I went to Black schools and was taught by Black teachers. And as far as I can see, the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s are the same, whether you learn in a Black or white school. I remember how wonderful the Harlem was during the Harlem Renaissance. Everywhere you look, nothing but beautiful and creative and intelligent Black people. I have often said to myself about all the white people who ever discriminated against me without knowing who I was or what I had to offer. Well, it's your loss for missing out on the presence of my company. Let them miss out on having our company.
You circle like in a jiu-jitsu move, bro. You trapped in this breathing right there, bro.
What do you have to say about that?
Well, I'm extremely happy for the Floyd family and for the nation, but as we all know, we still have a long way to go.
That's some bullshit.
Maybe this will be the beginning of.
Oh, no, nowhere.
Oya is right, you know. Look, it's like putting a Band-Aid on a machete cut. It will never stop the bleeding.
Can we just take a moment and have a sigh of relief? Because it could have been worse. They could have let that man go.
With the video tape of his execution, they couldn't have done
Well,
that.
they had the video of Rodney King. They had the video of Eric Gardner. They had the video of Tamir Rice. They had the video of Philando Castile. They had the video of Dante Wright shot because she didn't know if her gun was on the left or on the right. Somebody better stop me because I can keep on going.
White people have got to be the problem solvers among their own kind so we can have more support, such as what has occurred in the George Floyd case.
Good luck with that.
Though I must confess, I have been gravely disappointed with certain white liberals who constantly say, I agree with you in your goals you seek, but I cannot agree with your methods, as if they could paternalistically set the timetable for our freedom.
Yes, Martin. I was tired of the lip service from so-called liberal whites as well. If I didn't find my outlet through writing, I too would have surely picked up a rifle myself. I don't want to hear sweet talk coming from liberals saying they identify with my cause. We need radicals that are ready to step up and take off their shirts and ties, their dresses and high heels, and pick up a weapon and die if they must, not for our cause, but for their own cause. That's when I will know that we are all in this together.
White people are out there. People of all races are out there protesting all over the world.
I don't care. America still needs to pay for her crimes. One conviction does not make up for all the years of abuse and murder, injustice, and imprisonment.
But we must think about forgiveness. This is the only place healing can begin.
I agree. We will never get anywhere without it.
I don't want to hear another word about forgiveness. Not another word.
America needs to take responsibility. We cannot forgive them when they continue to persecute and oppress Black people. You cannot, we cannot, I cannot. They have never apologized for slavery. How can we forgive them?
And we are still suffering from the effects of slavery all these years later.
Which brings us to another issue we have been ignoring.
Oh, and what is that?
All of our energy, it seems, has been directed at the white racists, and rightfully so. But what about us? What about the crimes we commit on each other? We have to stop fighting and killing each other.
True, Black people are killing each other at the highest rates ever. It hurts me to say.
They are trying to compare Black on Black crimes to systemic racism. I don't get it.
I've heard Black people and white people say Black Lives Matter is only concerned about the police killings and not about the killings in the Black community by Black people.
Two different things. You have systemic racism over here in this lane, and in the other lane, you have the problem with Black on Black crime. They want to lump everything together, and that's not right. One thing has nothing to do with the other.
You can be a doctor or lawyer, a thief or village chief, but if your skin is Black, you are nothing to them.
They handcuffed Dr. Lewis Gates in his own home. Now they can arrest one of the most prominent people in the Black community.
Not just the Black community. Dr. Gates is an American institution by himself.
You're right, Lorraine. Arrested that man for nothing in his own home. What do they care about the average everyday Black man or woman?
And what about the children? The children stop believing in the quality of life by the time they are in elementary school and learn to hate before they ever learn to love. They have no idea what it means to have a healthy self-esteem. And so what do? They go out and hurt the person that looks just like them because they are so filled with hatred.
You nailed it, Miss Angelou. To take my own life. I really didn't believe that no Black person would ever shoot me. I believed that I didn't have to fear my own community. You know, I was like a representative. I'm their ambassador to the world. They will never do me wrong. But I also know it was a culture that taught and is still teaching Black men and women to hate each other enough to kill each other. Black persons with no thought or understanding of who they really are. The self-hatred is that deep.
I look down on earth today and I see something different. To listen to y'all, it's all gloom and doom, but I see young Black people, brown people, yellow people, and white people making strides in every area of life. They are excelling in education, technology, medicine, law, the media, you name it.
What kids are you talking about? The privileged kids or the kids in the hood? Because the children in the hood are still suffering.
Too many young people don't know what has been done to them, and that's what makes them quick to anger and retaliate. But when they see what has happened to them and why, they will never forget and never forget. And then they will be a dangerous lot to deal with.
My name is Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, and I approve his message.
This thing about racism, is preposterous to me, First, they want to say we less than human. We prove them wrong every time. They say we couldn't play sports with them, but we get in there and we dominate. They say we don't have brain power, but yet we rise to become mayor, Congress people, senators, scientists, astronauts, and even the president. We own business, become millionaires, billionaires, but yet they go on they superior. So to me, it's not about skin color. They don't have any excuses. It's a sickness in the brain. Racism is a mental illness,
So what can be done? If we do nothing, everything will continue as it has, and we will be in the same place for 50 years, 100 years from now.
Human progress never rolls in on the wheels of inevitability. It comes through the tireless efforts and the persistent work of dedicated individuals who are willing to be co-workers with God. And without this hard work, time itself becomes an ally of the primitive force of social stagnation.
We are colored Yankee soldiers who enlisted for the war. We are fighting for the Union. We are fighting for the law. We can shoot a rebel further than a white man ever saw as we go marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah, as we go marching on. Look there above the center where the flag is waving bright. We are going out of slavery, we are bound for freedom's light. We mean to show Jeff Davis how the Africans can fight as we go marching on, as we go marching on. We are colored Yankee soldiers, just as sure as you are born. When the rebels hear us shouting, he will think it's Gabriel's horn. As we go marching, marching, marching on. Excuse me for eavesdropping on y'all's conversation.
I don't recognize you, sir.
I'm sure you don't, but I recognize you. I recognize all of y'all. My name is not important, at least not at the moment. Seems we are in an urgent situation here. I've been listening all along. You've been around the creek, up the mountain, down the mountain, around the bend, trying to figure out what we need to do about our present predicament.
Got that right.
Seems to me y'all done left something out. I mean, you beat around the bush at it, but seems nobody wants to take a look at it for what it is and might be. Y'all act like y'all scared.
The only thing I'm afraid of is ignorance and conscientious stupidity.
With all due respect, sir, you can talk about nonviolent resistance, which I do believe works sometimes. But what happens when it doesn't work anymore? When violence cannot be avoided and, quite frankly, shouldn't be?
I don't know of any time that might be, sir.
I don't know about that. I was there in Haiti when blacks rose up against the French colonists after Napoleon sent 80 warships to put us back in chains. Off the ships they came, dressed in their gilded uniforms, on horses and on foot, carrying cannons and long guns. They came. The greatest military force in the world, so they claimed. Bullets flew, cannon bullets fell at our feet, over our heads, and some hit their mark. But the great Toussaint Louverture would never surrender to defeat. Like the Burnham Woods, we crept up on them bushes and trees, moving as one, closer and closer. We crept until we were on them like tigers in a fight. We could hear the powerful voice of Dessalines. No turning back now. And General Christophe, we are fighting for a higher cause. We couldn't turn and run, and we couldn't turn the other cheek. I was shot all over my body. Here's where a bayonet pierced my thigh. But that didn't stop me. Didn't stop us. We was fighting for the liberation of our people. We can't find a better reason, a greater cause, and no greater honor. And we sent the French and the great Napoleon back where they came from. I was there when standing next to Crispus Attucks when the British marched on the colonists too, right there. He screamed, "Stand your ground, don't be afraid." A musket shot hit here and he fell. A black man, first to die for liberty in this country. Many of us fought for the British because good old George Washington himself owned slaves, Jefferson and Madison too. They claimed the black man was the only 3/5 of a man. But we proved them wrong that day on Bunker Hill when I and 40 of my brothers fought for the independence of America. Make no mistake about it. We were there. Look here, I was shot. Almost took my arm off that day. But we won independence for America. When the Civil War come along, I come off the plantation in the South, and I come from the North, New York, Philadelphia, Boston. No black person could sit passively by and allow others to fight for us, fight for our freedom. The Battle of Sumter, Bull Run, Chattanooga, Shiloh, Antietam, Gettysburg. We were there. I was there. If we didn't fight, this country would be waving the Confederate flag, and where would we be then? I don't know about you, but I hate to think about that. So many bodies fell. We couldn't take a step without stepping on a lifeless body on the ground. I fell too. Round pellet to my skull, but that didn't stop me. Didn't stop us. We kept coming and coming and coming. We don't die, we multiply. I fought in World War I too. 369th Division from Harlem, Hellfighters, the Germans called us because they said we fought like we'd come out of hell. Truth of the matter is, many of us had been living in hell. So the name fit, the Hellfighters. America wouldn't allow us to fight with guns. They didn't like the idea of black people having guns, even in a war. Ain't that nothing? So we fought under the French flag. It was a dark, cold night. Germans on one side and the French on the other, and the 50 yards of land in between. No man's land. Lieutenant James Reese Europe slid under the barbed wire and made his way to the other side. He bayoneted a German lookout and became the first black man to kill an enemy on foreign soil. It was all over after that. Nobody could fight up close with knives like black folk. And the Allies, the Allies went from losing to winning. That makes 2 wars we done fought in and went from losing to winning. But when we gets back, Southern White said, keep the niggers in their place. He started their mess. Lynching, burning, and carrying on. Summer of 1919 is and will forever be called the Red Summer. But it wasn't just whites that was doing the killing. We was doing some killing of our own. Make no mistake about that. They're not going to tell you that in their history books. World War II. We fought on the ground and in the air. Surprised the hell out of them when they saw black men flying like birds, like red tails in the sky, and storming the beaches on foot. And once again, we changed the tide of the war. Are you hearing me? I fought in Korea and I was a blood in Vietnam, and today I fight in Iraq and Afghanistan. I am the black American soldier. Here I stand. Now you tell me if America owes us a debt of gratitude and respect. You tell me. As the good Dr. Welsing said, a war has been declared on people of color. We are at war whether you want to believe it or not. My question to all of you is, what are you going to do about it? About the genocide? What will it take for our people to fight back? Let me know, because I'm still here. I ain't going nowhere. I'm ready.
I'm honestly afraid to get out. Can I?
Yeah, you should be. Get out of the car now. Get out of the car.
Get your hands off me, please. Get your hands off me.
You know what?
Get your hands off me. Get your hands off me. I didn't do anything. Don't do that.
Nazario repeatedly asks why he's been pulled over before ex-officer Joe Gutierrez pepper sprays him through the open window.
Sir, just get out the car. I'm trying to breathe. Ugh. My dog is in the back. My dog is choking right now.
Get out of the car.
Man, I told him to get his hand out.
You told him to get his ID, sir, and his driver's license. Oh my God, please don't tell me he's dead. Please don't tell me my boyfriend just went like that.
What are you doing? Hey, bro. You move, I swear to God.
Hey, boss.
When is enough enough? We built this land with our very own hands. Our blood is in the very soil you walk on. I'm tired of them shooting us, locking us up, putting us behind bars for no reason, for way too long until we rot away like rotten fish. 65% freedom will not do, nor 75 or 85, 100%. That's what we need to be aiming for, nothing else.
How do we get there? What do you propose we do?
Think about this. I suggest a black militia. They got militias. Why can't we have militias? A militia made up of every able-bodied black person, male and female, between the ages of 18 and 55, armed and ready to go out on a moment's notice. We got everything we need. Doctors, lawyers, military, technical, you name it, we got it. All we need is the heart, the guts, and the willingness to stick together. Every time a member of our community is murdered and they refuse to arrest, prosecute, and convict, the militia will go out and find that person and apply our own justice. And if we can't get that person, a representative will do. We do it quietly, guerrilla style, and without any publicity, like ninjas in the night. So no one will ever get caught. But we do it so they know why. They will get the message.
No.
No.
I could never condone what you are suggesting. No.
If we must die, let it not be like hogs hunted and pinned in an inglorious spot, while round us bark the mad and hungry dogs, making their mock at our cursed lot. If we must die, oh, let us nobly die, so that our precious blood may not be shed in vain. Then even the monsters we defy shall be constrained to honor us though dead. Oh, kinsman, we must meet the common foe. Though far outnumbered, let us show us brave, and for their 1,000 blows deal one death blow. Though before us lies the open grave, like men we'll face the murderous, cowardly pack, pressed to the wall, dying but fighting back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'd rather die fighting against injustice than die like a rat in a trap.
You see, Yemaya, you see, that is what I have been saying all along.
Oya runs and hugs the soldiers. She steps back.
Shango, I thought that was you.
Shango, it's not you.
Shango?
Shango.
Oshun runs over to Shango and gives him a kiss full on the lips. Oya stands jealous and waits her turn. She too kisses Shango long and full and longer than Oshun. She turns and looks at Oshun, who is pissed.
Okay, that's enough of that. Oh.
You know where to find me. When it's time, I pray that time never comes.
No fear, no fear, no fear, no more fear. That's what freedom means. No fear.
What do you want? Justice! When do you want it? Now! What do you want?
Justice!
When do you want it?
For my people everywhere singing their slave songs repeatedly, their dirges and their ditties and their blues and jubilees, praying their prayers nightly to an unknown God, bending their knees humbly to an unseen power.
For my people lending their strength to the years, to the gone years and the now years and the maybe years, washing, ironing, cooking, scrubbing, sewing, mending, hoeing, plowing, digging, planting, pruning, patching, dragging along, never gaining, never reaping, never knowing, and never understanding.
For my playmates in the clay and dust and sand of Alabama backyards, playing baptizing, preaching, and doctor, and jail, and soldier, and school. And mama, and cooking, and playhouse, and concert, and store, and the hair, and Miss Chumley and company.
For the cramped, bewildered years we went to school to learn, to know the reasons why and the answers to, and the people who, and the places where, and the days when. In memory of the bitter hours when we discovered we were Black and poor and small and different, and nobody cared, and nobody wondered, and nobody understood.
For the boys and girls who grew in spite of these things, to be man and woman, to laugh and dance and sing and play and drink their wine in religion and success, to marry their playmates and bear children and then die of consumption and anemia and lynching.
For my people thronging 47th Street in Chicago, and Lenox Avenue in New York, and Rampart Street in New Orleans, lost, disinherited, dispossessed, and happy people filling the cabarets and taverns and other people's pockets, and needing bread and shoes and milk and land and money and something all our own.
For my people, walking blindly, spreading joy, losing time, being lazy, sleeping when hungry, shouting with burden, drinking when hopeless, tied and shackled and tangled among ourselves by the unseen creatures who tower over us omnisciently and laugh.
For my people, standing, staring, trying to fashion a better way from confusion, from hypocrisy and misunderstanding, trying to fashion a world that will hold all the people, all the faces, all the Adams and Eves and their countless generations.
Let a new earth rise. Let another world be born. Let a bloody peace be written in the sky. Let a second generation full of courage issue forth. Let a people loving freedom come to growth.
Let a beauty full of healing and strength, a final clenching be the pulsing in our spirits and our blood. Let the martial songs be written. Let the dirges disappear. Let a race of men now rise and take control.
And let us never forget, love is the supreme unifying principle of life. I still believe we will reach the promised land of brotherhood. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice.
For a period of 270 months. That's 270. That is 10-year addition to the
22.5 years. 2.5 years.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Coming for to carry me